Evening there, stranger. Whoa now. There's no need for any of that. I ain't here to rob you or do anything untoward, I swear. It's just that, well, I saw your fire from down the road a ways, and I got to say, at this time of night, it sure does look mighty inviting to my eyes. Now, I do apologize for creeping up on you without calling out or nothing first. I admit it was a bit foolish on my part, and I do understand your caution. While we're on the subject, if you wouldn't mind stowing that iron you have there. It is a beautiful piece from what I can tell in my current position, but seeing as it is directly aimed at my person, it does hinder my appreciation for it just a little bit. Now I am hoping that you are not the type of fella to shoot a fellow drifter, especially not one who's only looking for a place to rest his legs for the evening. So, I think, in keeping with the spirit of hospitality, it would only serve to sour the mood to keep such a thing in sight. No chance of that, huh? Well, it sure is a pleasant night out, and you've got yourself a nice camping spot. I would certainly count it as a shame to leave it, and, for that matter, yourself behind. But it also won't do to get shot over it. What is a man to do in these kind of situations? You know, I said the camp was nice, but there's something missing in it. Now what could that be? Ah, that's it. I thought it was a touch odd that I only smelled wood smoke on the wind, but after getting a closer look, I can see why. You ain't got nothing cooking on that fire now, do you? I don't see any meats or stew. Hell, there ain't even nary a can of beans around here. Don't be telling me that you wandered out into the wilderness without any manner of provisions. Hardtack and water ain't no kind of meal, stranger. No wonder you're so ornery. You know, I think I might be able to help you with that. Now, I ain't sure if you're the religious type or nothing, but I think you ought to be thanking the diecaster that the two of us have crossed paths this night. Well, because, stranger, I just so happen to have quite the selection of fine meats and other assorted foods just waiting to be cooked up, as well as the skills to make that happen. All I ask in return for this gift is to share a little bit of your fire tonight, and I promise, hand to the sky, that I'll serve you up something you ain't likely to forget anytime soon. So, stranger, what do you say? All right. You, my fine sir, have got yourself a deal. Now, how about you holster that iron and I'll get myself set up over here. Now, before I get to it, I think at least some introductions are in order. The name is Silas Blake, stranger. Pleasure to be meeting you tonight. What kind of stuff do I have? Oh, stranger, what don't I have? As it turns out, luck was on my side recently, and I got quite the haul of premium food from the shifting wilds. Yes, sir. Food from the homeland. Hell, I was practically raised on most of this stuff. We got smoked jackalope, sable horn flank steak, and now I guarantee that you've never had a taste of premium starfire snail before, now have you? Now don't turn your nose up like that. Wait until you've had a taste at least. And you won't regret it, I promise. Alright then, first things first, let me just set up my bedroll right quick and we can get this thing a-going. Oh, I'm just as eager as you are, stranger. Sharing a meal with an admittedly alluring drifter is surely one of life's true delights. But I've always found that the first thing you should do after making camp is to lay out your bed. Don't want to be putting things together when you're dead tired, or just getting started, if you catch my meaning. There we go. Nice and cozy looking. Just perfect for a night under the stars. Well, with that all taken care of, how about we get this started? Whew, damn. Now those shells got some zip to them, don't they? Kick like a mule on both ends. My wrist is gonna be feeling that tomorrow. But I'd say, of the two of us, you got the worst of it. I'd stay still if I was you. Not like you got much of a choice anyway. That shock that you just felt, that wasn't just for fun. Your nerves are gonna be fried for a while, but you should be alright in a moment or two. Probably. I did say I'd give you a taste you wouldn't soon forget now, didn't I? Oh, you're already getting some strength back, are ya? Tough son of a bitch. Damn. Now what's a handsome face like that doing saying all them vile words? All I did was blast you with a measly 50,000 volts. It ain't nothing to get twisted over. Spell shot's pricey as hell, but you really can't beat its versatility, for the rare instances where a regular shot won't do. I could have cheaped out and just blew a hole straight through you. Of course, that would have taken a bit of a hit on the bounty. Well, with that nasty bit of business out of the way, let's move right along. Hope you don't mind a little more intrusion on your person. There's just one more thing that I gotta check. I'll need to undo your shirt a bit for this, so you just sit pretty. I'd hate to have to shock you again and watch you squirm on the ground. Makes my job last a little longer, you see. Now that is a brand on the left clavicle in the shape of a star. And that seals it. Looks like you're my man after all. Now for some more permanent bindings. That tight enough for you, Star? Well, a little bit more never hurt anybody. Alright. Let's get you sat up now. Oh, and since you're on the mend already, think I'll be holding on to that gun for now, just in case you start feeling a little frisky. Well, well, ain't that a pretty pistol? Polished silver with a simply beautiful redwood grip. You got quite the taste, don't you? Now, me myself, I personally prefer antler or horn for the grips of my weapons. But still, this will make a fine addition to my gear indeed. Again with the foul language. You'd think a man with a shotgun would be given a little bit more of a cordial attitude. Not all of these shells give you something as simple as a shock. Tough as you might be, I don't think you want to take the risk of doing another shot. Though I do invite you to try. After what you've been accused of, you definitely deserve it. Well, with all that's happened so far, I figure it's about time for me to come clean to you. A bit of a reintroduction, without the omitted parts. Silas Blake is the name, and my profession is bounty hunting. A regulator, people tend to call me. Now, there's no need for you to introduce yourself, Star. I've been looking for you for quite a while now, following the tracks you've been leaving behind. You've managed to rack up quite a list of crimes over time, starting all the way back at Raven's Rest, where you got your start robbing stagecoaches with the Conway Green Gang, before they all got snapped up by the law, of course. Lots of hangings that day. Yet you managed to slip away, all the way to Abalone, where you laid low for a little bit, before you went back to your old ways and sent an entire train car full to the brim with raw gemstones off the side of a cliff into the gorges below. Powerful people were mad as hell, and that really pumped up the price on you. That and a whole other host of small deeds is what really put you in my sights. 5 months, Star. That's how long I've been hunting you. Always just a bit behind, but slowly and surely gaining on you. Through thicket and forest and desert, I pursued you, just waiting, until you really fucked up. You remember that attempted robbery in Burgundy? That shootout you had with the local precinct, that's what let me lay eyes on you for the very first time. And after that, it was only a matter of time before I tracked you down. And now, I finally got you, Star. All wrapped up, nice and tidy. Oh, I tell ya, I just love it when a chase comes to a close. But, truth be told, it's a bit boring to capture you this way. But I figure after hauling your ass in and counting my money will really take my mind off of it, at least till the next job. Oh, really? You are gonna make me regret this. Now ain't that interesting? Far be it from me to take the threats of a man handcuffed and under the barrel of a gun seriously, but I can go ahead and let you rattle your bars a bit if that helps you feel a little better. As long as it don't take away from the simple fact of this situation, that you are caught, little star, at least for the night. Now, I don't plan on mistreating you none. Far from it, in fact. It usually ain't my style to bully the condemned. After all, you're in for plenty of that when I turn you in. So why not have your last couple of days as a free man be something you can look back on with favor? At least until your neck gets stretched, that is. Now, I believe that I promised you some food. Yeah. Of course I actually had some. Unlike some dumb bastards around here, I come prepared for long stints in the wilderness. Again with that foul mouth. Now is that gonna be a running theme with you for the whole trip? You just gonna keep going, ain't you? I just can't wait to fill that mouth to shut you the hell up. You know, it's not too late for me to shoot you again. Now why don't you do the smart thing for the first time in your life and shut the fuck up, Star. The food'll be ready soon. Well, ain't this just a fine old day? Yes, sir. Finer day as was ever made. Especially for riding trails as we are. Hell, even old fella here seems to have a little skip in his step. Well, as much as a giant ram can skip, I suppose. I mean, just feel that sun on your face. Wind running through your hair, carrying the smell of blooming wildflowers up on top of that cliff. Just like the spice of spring. Things like that can do a man on the trail good, you know. Sweet like. Almost tender, in a way. Like an old lover that you had a long time ago. Of course, you're a bit preoccupied with some slightly different thoughts, now ain't you, Star? One's of a contemplative nature still, of course. But a little hard to appreciate the finer points of our little trip from where you're at. I mean, hanging like a sack of potatoes off the ass end of a giant ram, all tied up like a hunted deer. Ain't exactly the most luxurious way to travel, I admit. But unfortunately, I am a man of simple means. But come to think of it, you are too, ain't you, Star? A rough and tumble outlaw such as yourself, bound to be made of sterner stuff than most, so you can't be fussing too much. Besides, it ain't all bad though. Fella here's a bit more sure-footed than any horse, even if he does tend to smell a bit ripe at times. And you have the pleasure of getting a front row seat to experience the varied intricacies of trail dirt, especially when the wind kicks up and you get a face full of dust. Ooh, now that's gotta sour your mood a little bit. And speaking on the subject of foul, seems that your language is just as colorful as ever. You never do miss a chance to go and air the lungs, now do you, Star? I mean, in the brief time in which I've spent with you, you always seem to be hollering about something or another, threatening or just being all kinds of free and wild with your words. Seems like the pleasure of your presence comes with a bit of a free show, now don't it? Come on now. Even you gotta admit that you're a cantankerous son of a bitch. But all the same, it certainly has been a pleasure so far. And a sweet voice like yours being so sour. Now that breaks up the boredom, if nothing else. They always tell you that the draw of a bounty hunter's life is these big, exciting adventures, tracking down bounties and getting into all kinds of dust-ups. That's the thought, anyway. Most of it, truth be told, is boring as all hell. Lots of traveling and asking questions, putting out fires here and there, and asking more questions and traveling, bit by bit, getting closer, but never quite getting the job done as fast as you want to. I tell you, if only I could rest a spell at that rushing wild river over yonder. Hardly a better spot to take a moment off the trail and stretch your legs out. And just the thought of that cool, clear water. Now that would be just the thing to clear the throat of all the miles of dust you come through. Now don't get so sore, Star. You're definitely one of the more spirited and entertaining bounties I've ferried. Normally I'm out there catching horse thieves or half-cocked ranch hands who went and played hide the sausage with some trail boss's favorite plaything. But you're the real deal, Star. Gunslinger, through and through. I saw what you done. All the crazy shit you got up to on your way here. In all its glory, mind you. Spoke to the folks you robbed. Went to the smoldering heaps of twisted metal train cars. Hell, I even spent my fair share of time in the morgues you populated, with some unlucky new residents. Tracking you down wasn't an easy task, but seems like it was the hard part. Got you in irons quick enough before you could draw on me and show me how you got that bounty. Oh, no, I ain't bragging. No, sir. I know better than to think that you, of all people, are all hat and no cattle. The fact that I'm still sucking air after catching up with you, well, might be better used to breathe a sigh of relief than to be braggadocious about it. Nobody likes a sore winner, right? Still, I wouldn't have minded testing out your metal. The diecaster knows that I do love a proper shootout with a real gunslinger. Wonder which one of us would end up winning that. Oh well, too late to find out now. Guess I'll have to console myself with the sizable stack of script someone's paying for your sorry self. Charming as you are, I don't think I'd keep your company if I wasn't getting paid for it. Though even the payment itself nearly makes up for wasting the better part of my days as a late, tearing through the brush for hauling you on the road to civilization, when I much prefer to be off elsewhere, rambling about in this fine vista. But even still, gotta pay my dues. That's just the way shit is, ever since I agreed to be a regulator. Probably better this way, but, well, at least it's a nice day. I reckon not even your shit-ass disposition can put a damper on that. And, as a happy bonus, I can still gag you if your jaw waggles a bit too much for my liking. Enjoy the sights and sound without your constant, contemptuous crowing. Oh, well shit. And here I thought the only words you knew were fuck you, eat shit, and you'll pay. But damn, Star, by that little twinkle in your eyes as you was talking, seems like you ain't too opposed to the idea of a little extra bondage. Here you are, all bound and restrained, nice and tight, and still hoping for more. Guess you're a little more fond of the rope than most, aren't you? And who would have thought that all it took was cuffing your hands to get this badass gunslinger going in a whole nother direction? Alright then, Star, since you're in a bit of a sharing mood, you wouldn't happen to have a preference for what occupies your mouth, would you? Got a couple of options for you. The bite of a rough rope is a bit of a classic, but perhaps some ridged leather would suit your fancy. Or maybe you'd prefer something a little more filling. That's what I thought. You really just can't help but run your mouth, can you? You are doing so good. Did the whole kinky and sultry angle more genuine than I thought you would. But come on. You don't think a bounty's ever tried that with me before? Folk try all kinds of things to avoid getting brought in. You wouldn't believe how many secret fortunes or mystical fairy tales I've been told about that every damn cutthroat or tax dodger swears up and down actually exists, and could be mine if only I let them off the hook. Shit. Their words ain't as good as real script, though, no matter how tall the tale. It's a shame you done did what you done, and even worse, that you got caught by me without much of a fight. But you are a looker, I admit, catching the eye nicely, like a shiny coin in the road. If our situations were a bit different, I would have liked to see where a handle of whiskey took us. But alas. Hey, hush up now. Fun is fun, but I've done heard about enough out of you for 2 lifetimes, and I ain't gonna start working on a 3rd. I'll have some damn peace and quiet one way or another on this trip, and I ain't too picky about how it's done. If I gotta rattle your skull to get it, then so be it. Though, somehow, you're louder asleep than you are awake. You snore like a thunderstorm rolling across the plains. Alright. Had just about enough of you anyway. Time for you to take a nap. Oh, damn it. Ah, you fucking shit. Where you going, huh? Fuck. Come here, you little... I got you now, you little fuck. Trying to make a break for it, were you? Clever little bitch. You're pretty strong, way stronger than you look. But you ain't overpowering me, not when I'm shifted like this. And especially not when I'm on top, pressing you into the dirt. Oh, shit. You ruined my damn shirt. Quit your squirming. All this damn fuss. Over what? Where the hell were you even gonna go? Are you gonna jump into that river with your hands tied? You really gonna make me fish your drowned dumbass out of there? Well, speak up, boy. Oh, the hell. You stupid little prick. You really just fucking bite me? That's how you want to play this? Alright then. Now that's how you fucking bite. Deep into that juicy, tender meat. You're lucky I don't tear a chunk out of you for pulling this shit. But I ain't in the mood to haul around a bloody pile. So you get off easy with just this one little bite. Next time, though. You got a fine taste to you, Star. Thick and hot. Makes me wanna just lap it up. Smells nice too. How that sharp scent hangs in the air. There's something else behind it though. Underneath. I know your scent, Star. Been tracking you by it for a while, but this is new. Heady and strong. Not fear. Never smelled that on you before. Something teasing and warm. Oh boy, good to finally be getting out of that chill. How you weathering now, Star? You enjoying that break from our usual venue, ain't you? Civilization. Now ain't it just a sight for sore eyes? Or as close as this miserable spit of land can be called civilization anyway. What even was the name of this place again? I plumb forgot the moment I even saw the sign. Yeah, that's it. Cold Clay. Ain't that just an awful name for a place? Even some backwater trading post like this. So far out of the way that the railroads don't even come here. Huh. Hell. Surprised they even got a post office here. Oh, now. Don't be concerning yourself with my correspondence now, Star. But, if you must know, your mama gets awful twisted when I don't write her dirty letters now and again. Poor gal can't hardly go a day without. Fuck you right back, Star. Now drink your damn whiskey that I paid for. Hell's bells. Well, that's Cold Clay for you. Town where decency comes to die. Even the drinks are hogwash. And yet, here we are, enjoying a rare moment off the trail. Drinking in the only warm spot with 4 walls and a mostly intact roof. I gotta say though, this here saloon ain't got hard competition. Narrowly beats out that burned out barn and even that there church that became the new barn. Ain't much to this place now, is there? And that is as certain as dew in the morning. But you know, there's worse places to lay your head, especially out there. At least the drinks are cheap. Though I'm gonna have to drink 3 times as much to even feel a damn thing. Ah, well. Nothing else to do, right? Go ahead and pour me another there, Star. You contemptuous little bastard. Ain't nothing ever easy with you. Fine. Give me that. You think you ought to be a little more courteous to me. I bet you're enjoying having unbound wrists for the time being. You know, I nearly forgot what you look like without them binds on. Slumped over the backside of old fella. Well, take what comforts you can get from it, Star. They're going back on as soon as we leave this place in the morning. Now don't you start running your mouth again. I ain't nearly had enough whiskey to hear you yapping like a damn coyote about running off of some other dim-witted idea. You ain't got no gun, no money, and no damn sense either. It'd be your last foolish choice to run away, I wager. Way you tend to act, these folks would shoot you dead. And besides that, there's plenty of bounty hunters in this area. Meaner sons of bitches than yours truly. Oh, but the way that you are, I'd reckon you'd give 'em hell, Star. You ain't an easy mark on the best of cases. I'll attest to that. Look at you, preening like a prize hen over a few words. Huh. Don't take much to send your ego flying. Still, though, the safest place for you is sitting right here next to me. There ain't no one gonna bother you while you're here with me. And you are all mine, ain't you, Star? Damn right you are. My fucking bounty. And while we're on the subject, how's about you and I just be a little frank with each other? You've been enjoying my company a little more than is modest as of late. One could reasonably draw the conclusion that you're waiting for a little more. Not work. Now that's more like it. You ain't you if you ain't acting like a rattlesnake with a toothache. Creeps me out a little when you're acting all civilized. I tell you, it's one of the world's better pranks putting such a dirty mouth on a handsome face such as yours. Will you listen good, you cuss-bitten cur? The bar was open for a little bit, and you got yourself a good drink. Savor it, Star. But don't you be expecting a chaser. I got a job to do. No matter how good your scent is. Well, it's hard not to mention. I never caught a scent like yours before. It's unique. In a good way, mind you. Can't have you going around saying I don't pay you a compliment or two when it's due. Gotta keep my reputation as a gentleman polished and intact, of course. Now just 'cause you don't see that side don't mean it don't exist. Hell, If you weren't the snide, cantankerous son of a bitch that you are, I could see myself treating you mighty fairly. When you deserve it, of course. But enough talking about what could be. Let's instead work on what is. Here, get yourself another drink, Star. You drinking on regulator money tonight. What little there is. Well, life as a regulator affords a man many, many things. Decent pay, however, ain't a usual benefit of this type of employment. Indentured servitude, more like. That's right. You know, the bounty hunting life kind of fell into my lap. Or was forced into it, more like. Now what you being all nosy for? You taking a sudden interest in your handsome and well-endowed captor? Yeah, fuck you. There ain't much to tell that couldn't be sussed out. I'd imagine you'd be aware that the best hunters of wanted men were, at one point, wanted men themselves. The skills transfer over quite nicely, you see. Don't matter much now, I reckon. The good folks at Gallant Rail and Gold made and damn near owns that bed now. Much as I hate to be the one laying in it. But play the cards that you dealt. Ain't that right, Star? That's what you did, I reckon. But your situation's a bit of an interesting one. One thing that sticks with me, the company has put an awful lot of interest into your capture. Even more than an outlaw of your caliber ought to warrant. And then there's that peculiar scent of yours. There's something about you, Star. Something special, ain't there? No, I seen that look in your eye. It's the same one that I catch in mine in the reflection sometimes. You know what it's like to be owned, don't you? Is that where that brand came from? I see. Well, I ain't gonna push the subject any further. Not while there's drinking to do. Let's freshen up them glasses. Hey, to bad odds. They tend to make a hell of a story at the end. What's that scent? Is that... shit. Here we go. Stay close to me, Star.
Well, if it ain't the infamous Silas Blake in the flesh. I thought I tasted something familiar in the air.
Delilah Beauchamp. Thought I recognized that scent. Ain't this just my luck? Stroll into town looking to have a drink, and here I find a snake in the grass instead.
Oh, Silas Sugar, if I'm a snake in the grass, You're the mangy hound that goes sniffing around places he don't belong. And look at you. Ah, bless your heart. Still dressing like you ain't got two coins to rub together.
Now you see, that's what I always liked about you, Delilah. You can get that knife in between the ribs before a man even knows that he's stuck. But we both know why you're here. Same as me. Now, you gonna step aside, or are we gonna have ourselves a disagreement?
Oh, sugar. You always did have a way with words. But I don't reckon I need to step aside for the likes of you. That bounty's mine. I've been on his trail for weeks, and I'd hate for some mutt to come sniffing in and ruin all my hard work.
Is that so? You know, funny thing is, I ain't never known you to do the hard work yourself. Always were partial to letting somebody else get their hands dirty, then slithering on in at the end to take the prize. You never were much of a gunslinger.
That's enough foreplay, sugar. You gonna hand him over? Or are we gonna do this the hard way?
The hard way? You ought to know better than anybody else, Delilah. Taking something of mine, that's damn near impossible.
No, that's not quite how I've heard it. What happened to that pretty little thing you used to ride with, hmm?
I'd be more worried about yourself, darling. See, I've seen how you fight. Real pretty, real quick. All flash and venom. But I'm gonna bite you back if you test me.
Oh, sugar. I was hoping you'd say that.
Damn. That sidewinding slime's a lot quicker than I remember. You alright over there, Star? Everything still attached? Good. Well, this ain't the best situation, but you go ahead and stay hidden, out of eye shot. We got a bit more of a chance out here than we do in there, long as we play it right.
You reckon so? Oh, hun. Inside or out don't matter much to me. I always get my mark, regardless. It is so very sweet of you to try and keep that bounty there out of harm's way. They must really be starting to grow on you. You kept them nice and safe for me, didn't you, sugar? Ain't that nice? But I'll be taking them all the same. All up to you what state you're in when I do, sugar.
Well, seeing as how you barged in while I was sharing a bottle of finery with my even finer charge, I don't reckon I'll be letting you off the hook. State of the evening being what it is and all. But hell, way I see it, blasting your flaky scaled hide apart will get the heart pumping all the same.
You gonna try and play the hero now, Silas? I don't think you fit the part, sugar. Not with what you've done, and not with the color you wear now. But who am I to stop you from dying for a lost cause?
Oh, sweetheart. I ain't got the heart for heroics. This is just about the love of having a good brawl. Sides, we know you'd rather shed your skin than get into a real fight. You run if you had the legs for it, darling.
I've been wanting to hear those words from you. But there's some bold ones for a man who smells of whiskey and regret. You sure you ain't still drunk? Would be a shame if that dulled your reflexes. Best get after it then, sugar.
Damn, you're quick. Makes a man feel awful bashful being on the back foot like this. Ain't it polite to do a count first before you let things fly?
Now, Silas. Surely you ain't thinking about running already. You disappoint me, sugar. I thought you'd at least entertain me a little longer before tucking the tail.
Cold-blooded and dim-witted. I ain't going nowhere, and I'll be damned before I let some snake tell me how to conduct my affairs. I still got a job to do.
Reckon you're right about the first part. You ain't leaving this town.
Damn. Always knew you were the clingy type. Built like a noose and just as pleasant to be around. Always trying to lock someone down, ain't you, darling?
And I have. You're slow, sugar. Too slow. Whatever happened to the outlaw who made the territory quick in his boots? Was he being replaced with this sad little doggy?
Oh, come on. Ain't you supposed to be the clever one? Guess having a forked tongue don't make you any more sharp. Ain't it obvious? When you got trouble hitting a target, you get closer. And I'm plenty close now. Oh, what the hell?
Damn mutt. Oh, don't fight it, darling. My venom is quite the experience. Like drifting off into a lovely dream. You should just lay down. Let the poison do its work. Would be so much easier than finding it, don't you think?
Hell, this burns. Wearing armor and using venom? Didn't know this diamondback had such a yellow belly. Oh, that ain't good. I reckon I've had worse nights. I think.
Now, be a gentleman and remove yourself from my job. Ain't no one wanna see this. Now, back to business. Oh, now ain't this a development? Look who went and armed themselves. You wouldn't happen to have lifted that pepper box off of old Silas, would you? Oh, sugar. And here I thought you were the quiet, sweet type. But look at you. Bold, treacherous. I think I like you better this way. But I do hope you're as good as they say you are. Otherwise, this is gonna be a mighty short dance. And if I win, oh sugar, I won't be kind to you. Quite the opposite. Damn you! Oh, sugar, that was something. But you're out, ain't you? And if I were a little less perforated, I'd be making you regret that. I ain't letting you get away that easy. I'll find you again, and I'll deal with those other hunters before they even get a whiff of you. Mark my words, this ain't over.
Well, that was fun. Sent Snaky Sal some fucking bitch packing. Wasn't expecting that armor she had. Guess she's more than just a belt with a bad attitude. Well, ain't you just a knight in shining armor? Hell, Star, that was some mighty fine shooting. You sure do know how to handle a gun. That's pretty hot. But you stole that piece that I stole from you. Naughty. Whoa. Now that's a firm grip you got. That's nice. Damn. Thought I had a few more rounds left in me. I'm getting tired. Sleepy.